All right, so I'm gonna go over some common mistakes in the Stonewall Dutch. Honestly, there was only really one that I left out, but I guess I'll make a video to go through all of them. So let's start with the one that hurts the most. Um, so actually, interesting thing, they can go bishop f4 here, and you kind of got tricked into a London, but nothing to worry. Just c6, knight f6, and like I said in the London video, this is not the end of the world. They can take. You're gonna go knight d7, but one common mistake to flow very well here is do not go knight d7 because they have this line of fire. This is something you see in the Stonewall too. Here they can go knight takes c6, and after take, you are slightly worse here. So the way to fix this is you go probably castle first. Let's say bishop e2, and now we go queen e7. That way the bishop is protected, and after castle, knight d7. Now we are actually ready to take this knight. Like if c5, we would take here. And now we're gonna basically same idea as the Stonewall. Take this outposted piece when they have to capture back with the pawn. You got two pieces on it. So if they do this, now boom, you're already up a pawn. You're gonna win one of these guys. And if they don't, if they go pawn takes, you can go knight e4, you can go knight e8, and once again these pawns are weak. You actually have a very sneaky idea here, and I've seen this in another variation, but you can actually trap this bishop. G5, bishop G3, and F4. And then already like that, the bishop is trapped and black is good to go. So that's the first of the mistakes. Now the other mistake that I want to go over is, actually the original mistake that I want to go over, is what to do if bishop to G5. So here, please remember, do not go H6 trying to win this bishop, because they will take on F6, queen takes, and now you will be down a pawn. And it's not a pretty one. Once the wall is shattered, you got some dark days ahead of you, is the best way to put it. All right, so there's this one. All right, there's two other common mistakes that I really want to go over. So it's going to be in the G3 line. So let's just make some normal moves. So remember, also another one common mistake is going bishop d6 first because you're in Stonewall mode. A lot of times you're going to have c4 and knight c3 or one or the other. So you're going to go c6 always earlier in the Stonewall Dutch. So let's say here. What's the knight c3, castle, and let's say queen c2. So now here a mistake that I have seen is going knight to d7, because if take on d5 and pawn takes, this pawn can be hanging. Now sometimes this pawn is actually it's a poison pawn, but I would just get in the habit of not letting that happen. Generally what you're going to do here is go queen e7, and I'll even show you what to do against this rook b1 line. Once again, this is you see this at 2000 plus, 2100 plus, but it's good to know. They want to basically go b4, c5. What they want to go is b4, b5 and start wreaking havoc on these pawns. But queen e7 prevents them from going b4. And here, for example, it's funny. The computer doesn't like b6 here. If you do it, it's okay. I mean, this is another level of opening knowledge. But probably what you're going to do here is go knight e4. And now they can't go b4 because you got both the boys, I guess boy and girl, attacking b4. And if c5, and then here they try to go b4, well, now they went late c5. So e5 is going to be a very strong counter strike for you. So you're happy here. So don't lose that f5 pawn. And then another, I would say, common problem, and I'm actually going to do it with b3. And all of these are in their respective videos as well. But this is kind of the summary video of mistakes. Okay, so actually even there, that's a mistake because now they can go bishop a3. So remember, if they go b3, queen e7, so bishop b2, and then the mistake here is going knight d7 before b6 because now they go knight e5, and now you can't go b6 because the c6 pawn hangs. So what you got to do is go b6, and if they go knight e5, you go bishop b7, knight d7, castle, push c5, and now you're golden. Just remember b6 before knight d7. That way the c6 pawn is not hanging. So yeah, these are all kind of the big, I would say, mistakes that I see in the Stonewall Dutch. Been teaching it for years, been playing it for years. But as long as you know these little problems that could occur. Actually, there's one last problem because honestly, it's a problem that I made a lot. So a mistake that I made a lot. So in the bishop f4 line, take, and castle. And I repeat, do not go for the, if they go e3, don't go for this rook lift. Your rook can get stuck here. once again, like I said, sometimes you can win here. You go knight g7, take, and you have some miracle mate. But a lot of times, if it doesn't work, you're going to just die. So what you would do here is like knight d7, and if f3, knight d6, and you're going to play in the center. And if you want to start a kingside attack, eventually what you're going to do is king h8, rook g8, and g5. If they give you enough time, if they do nothing for long enough, that is how you're going to start an attack. But first, clarify the center, develop your pieces, and then you can start going for the gangster attacks on the flank. All right, so that's it. That's all the common mistakes in the Stonewall Dutch.